The morning light cast a gentle glow through the curtains of the bedroom. Rather than waking due to this morning sunlight, I found myself stirred from the slumber by the soft patter of your feet, my child, as you attempt to sneak a peek in your mother and I's room, hoping we are still asleep surely. How swiftly the years have flown by, and how quickly you have grown. You possess the same spirit of adventure, the same wit and cunning that have defined my own endeavors. Yet in this moment, as I observe your stealthily return to the warmth of our home, I am filled with a sense of urgency, a feeling deep within my bones that time is not on my side. You yearn for adventures I have, but I'm afraid I won't be able to guide you through them. My illness, though I have fought against it with all my strength, show no signs of relenting. And while I would have relished the opportunity to explore the world alongside you, I know that such dreams must remain unfulfilled. Your mother, ever protected, would surely skin me for even entertaining such thoughts, and yet in the depths of my heart, I cannot help but yearn for the adventures that might have been. My passing, when it comes, I know will serve as a catalyst for you, my kin. I have no doubt that you will feel the call of the unknown, the lure of distant lands and uncharted territories. And though your mother and I may attempt to dissuade you, I know that your spirit will not be bound by the confines of our city walls. Indeed, I implore you to heed that call, to embark upon the grand expedition that awaits you. But my dear child, there is one realm into which I must forbid you to venture. It is a place shrouded in darkness, a realm of peril. I know you will take these words as challenge, but please understand they are not. Nothing rewarding can come from conquering of this place. I will recount to you why this realm is cursed, evil, and dangerous. For the sake of my love for you, stay away from the Sea of Nepthal. The waters, enveloping the land of Occula, a realm of untamed tempests and violent turmoil, since time immemorial. They have remained defiant and unconquered, mirroring its inhabitants, never to be conquered, never again. In the depths of the great Nepthal Sea, where the currents turn with unfathomable curiosity, dwell the ancient serpents of legend. These colossal beings, guardians of the primordial depths, remember well the theft of their domain when the land was wrenched from their grasp and hoisted into the realm of mortals. That land, pulled from the ocean floor, became Occula. Never again shall they allow such audacity to transpire unchallenged, with scales gleaming like burnished sapphires beneath the shimmering surface. They vowed to safeguard their aquatic realm against any who would dare encroach upon their dominion. Theirs is a solemn oath, sworn upon the bloodied waves and whispered upon the breath of an ocean's fury. And they were not alone in this promise. Beneath the turbulent waves, the Newphians, with their azure scales and gilded fins, doth glide as phantoms in the shifting currents. Humanoid with fins, where the ears should be, and gills along their neck, their voices a melody that lures unsuspecting souls to their watery demise. Like mariners ensnared in the labyrinth embrace of destiny, they find themselves ensnared in the clutches of these aqueous realms, their dreams dashed upon the unforgiving rocks of despair. The ancient serpents, blessed gods of the waters, wrought havoc upon the seas, rendering seafaring a perilous endeavor for the early settlers of Occula. With their colossal size, they became formidable obstacles, their mere presence instilling fear in the hearts of sailors attempting the treacherous journey to and from the mainland. Meanwhile, the cunning Newphians, adept and hunting in the watery depths lurk beneath the waves, preying upon survivors and stragglers with ruthless efficiency. And yet, from the heavens above descends Morgrim, the god of weather and change, his visage as tempestuous as the storm-tossed sea, with a voice that echoes like thunder and eyes that gleam with the lightning's fury. He commands forth his progeny, the dragons, born of lightning and air, and the thunderbirds, his more favored offspring, heralds of the thunder and storm. Together they wage war upon the serpents and their Newphian kin, their clash reverberating through the vast expanse of the ocean, like the mighty hum of creation. The dragons, with wings outstretched like banners of defiance, soar through the heavens, their electric breath cracking the darkness in golden wires. The thunderbirds, with cloud-gray feathers, clash their wings, releasing shock waves, disrupting the waves of the sea. And so, in a cataclysmic battle that spans from the sunken depths to the towering crest of the waves, Morgrim and his offsprings emerge triumphant. The serpents and the Newphians are cast down, their dominion shattered by the relentless force of divine retribution. As the waves settled into a tranquil rhythm, the vast expanse of the ocean became a highway of commerce and connection, thanks to the benevolence of Morgrim and his children. Occula, once isolated, found itself in closer communion with the mainland, as cultures intertwined and trade flourished. Yet, amidst this new-found prosperity, dangers still lurked beneath the surface of the sea. Though the mighty sea serpents and their followers, the Newphians, had been vanquished, the waters remained treacherous, unforgiving to those who dared to traverse them. As the tides of fortune ebbed and flowed still in a violent manner, a new menace arose from the depths of the sea, the scourge of piracy, led by the notorious Captain Ashbeard and his formidable vessel, the Grey Snake. These marauders brought chaos and discord to the once tranquil waters. With cunning and ruthlessness, they laid waste to the merchant ships and naval fleets alike, their ship mirroring the ferocity of the great serpents themselves. With his ship, a dark specter upon the waves, Ashbeard seemed unstoppable, his power unmatched by any who dared to challenge him. Yet, in the midst of his reign of terror, a challenger emerged, Captain Roderick Stormwind of the Tempest Fury. In epic clashes upon the open sea, Stormwind and Ashbeard engaged in a battle of wills, each vying for supremacy over the waves. In each encounter, Stormwind's skill and determination turned the tide, forcing Ashbeard into retreat and restoring a semblance of safety to the belligerent waters. But even as Stormwind emerged victorious time and again, the calming waters of the ocean were soon to be engulfed by a new and sinister threat. The Great Fog, a harbinger of darkness and despair that would shroud the ocean in an impenetrable veil of mist. In a final, fateful clash, Ashbeard and Stormwind vanished into the mist, the first victims of the Great Fog. The fog, an ominous shroud that obscured their horizons and swallowed ships whole, posed a dire threat to travel between the mainland and the island. Eventually, the lifeless bodies of Ashbeard and Stormwind washed ashore on the coast of Occula, their forms mangled and twisted, an unbearable sight for most. The sight of their fate struck fear into the hearts of all who beheld it, serving as a new warning of the power and unforgiving nature of the Great Fog. After witnessing the demise of two legendary figures of the sea, no sailor dared to challenge the fog again. for it had proved that even the mightiest of captains could be claimed by its insidious grasp. For centuries thereafter, the fog remained an impenetrable barrier, thwarting any attempts at escape from the island, until one fateful day when a daring adventurer named York, undeterred by the warnings of his fellow islanders, set sail aboard the fog cutter. Little was known of the young sailor named York. While he professed to have connections to the distant mainland, neither he nor anyone else could recall the name of the land. The passage of time had obscured Occula's memory of its ties to distant shores. Undeterred by the island's folk, York remained steadfast in his resolve to venture into the unknown and return to what he believed was his homeland. With a small crew of volunteers, he set sail aboard the fog cutter, a vessel named for his unwavering determination to pierce through the mist that veiled the waters. As the ship cut through the dense fog and choppy water, York pressed on, undaunted by the foreboding atmosphere that surrounded him, his vision obscured by the swirling mist. He patiently awaited a dispersal of the gray cloud that enveloped his vessel. Days turned into weeks as York persisted in his quest, his spirits buoyed by the tantalizing hope of land on the horizon. Yet to his dismay, each time the fog lifted, he found himself back at the very spot from which he had set sail. It was as if the sea itself conspired to thwart his efforts, returning him relentlessly to his starting point. Despite countless attempts, York's determination remained unbroken. But as frustration grew, tragedy struck, and his ship met its demise upon jagged rocks along the coastline. Refusing to abandon his vessel, York met his fate as he sank beneath the waves. His dreams of reaching the distant mainland forever dashed, another victim of the great fog. Years have passed since then, centuries since the fog first formed. Thus, the people of Occula speculate the origins of the great fog, weaving tales of its creation and purpose. Some believe it to be lingering spirits of the Newphians and their vengeful gods exacting their final retribution upon those who dare to challenge their domain. They see the fog as a barrier erected by ancient powers, refusing to allow sailors to rule over their realm and instead guiding them back to the land where they belong. Some believe it to be a tool of the mainlanders, a cunning ploy to keep us ensnared upon our island home. They suggest the mainland across the sea are biding their time, waiting for us to wither and fade away, so that they may claim Occula for their own, without the need for bloodshed. Others, however, view the fog as punishment wrought by Morgrim himself, the god of weather and change. They argue that our hubris in attempting to assert dominance over the sea and engage in battles for ownership has led to stagnation and a halt in progress, something that Morgrim hated. In their eyes, the fog serves as a somber reminder of the consequences of our actions, forcing us to reflect upon our folly and the folly of our ancestors. And yet, there are those who lay blame upon the new ruler of Occula, though such accusations are often short-lived, as are the accusers. The mysteries of the fog remain shrouded in uncertainty, its origins and purpose only known to the water themselves. So my dear Lillian, listen to me for once in your life. Heed my warning. As you venture the island of Occula, do not tempt fate by challenging the waters. Steer clear of the treacherous Sea of Nepthal and avoid the embrace of the great fog at all costs. Let my words and wisdom be your guides, but most importantly, stay safe on your travels. Know I will always be proud of you. Love, your father.